Good morning, everyone. I actually don't know what time it is when you're watching this, but it is morning here. Today, I want to share a couple of new prompts that I worked on. You writers, I really hope you enjoy this as much as I enjoy playing with them. I have one for those who are very character driven, you like everything based around your characters, and then ones for the writers who like to focus on the plot. So you'll see here, I did mention that I used 4 with Canvas. I actually did this before OpenAI's recent update where it integrates Canvas now with all the models. But you'll see you actually can't select that for any newcomers who are looking for that with Canvas. You're not going to see that anymore. It's just 4.0. I do not use O1. Honestly, I don't really use it at all, but I see myself using O1 for if I need to really flesh out, go back and forth with complicated outlines or changing things up, cameos for the series across different series, things like that. But most of the time, I love working with 4.0. All right, so let's look at our character-based prompt. This is the original one that I gave it right here, just asking for that series based around whatever idea you want. I told it to give me ideas for characters. I actually asked for 4 to 6 of them. That worked out great. If you don't have an exact number, don't be afraid to give it a range. And I told it what I wanted. And I reinforced that we're only fleshing out the characters. I'm not worried about plots, how the series is going to play out, anything like that. I like to focus on my characters first, get a sense of them, and then start fleshing their stories out. You're going to see when I share my screen that chat actually gave me this right away. I like this. It worked great. It wasn't too much information, wasn't overwhelming, but yet it still brought out those little quirks for each character. If it doesn't give you this, I recommend trying it. I know I, for one, will be asking for these things going forward. And then I do have some follow-up prompts. You'll see these in action as well. Right, here is the actual prompt I gave it. Let's brainstorm a series idea for a contemporary romance series that follows a close group of female friends. And you'll see I asked for 4 to 6 of the friends, told it that information you saw in the prompt, reminding it I only want to focus on the characters. And then I gave it one final thought, one thing that I knew I absolutely wanted to happen in this series. I wanted one of the females to be married because during the series, her husband is actually going to pass away. I do like to get general at first or stay general because I like to see the ideas the AI comes up with, both when I did the character and the plot-based prompt. But in this particular aspect, there was no ifs, ands, or buts. I definitely wanted this to happen. I do have some other ideas, but I didn't give it because, again, I wanted to see what the AI would come up with first. I might like its idea better, or it might reinforce and strengthen one of my original ideas. All right, you'll see it came up. This is going to be our future widow, Olivia. She's married to our high school sweetheart. I got to change the name because I already have an Ethan. I've had him for years. Not changing. And then the little quirks and signature drama. Then this one actually ended up being my favorite character out of the group. I have a writer friend named Harper, and I shared this one with her. Thought she'd get a kick out of it. Harper's our little unhinged one. It always keeps the crowbar in her trunk, just in case, because you never know when they come in handy. And then I loved this future that it gave us for Harper. I'm actually going to write this series next year, and I look forward to doing this with Far. She is my favorite. I look forward to seeing this plot line. I'm not going to show it to y'all, but somewhere down in the conversation, I actually started fleshing out this part because this became the center. Okay, let's tailor Harper and some quirks and things. It's contradicting and foreshadowing other stuff that fits that. I'm just going to scroll down. And it gave us 5. I'm sorry, 6. I saw the number 6 in my head, but I still said 5. And here are the follow-up prompts that I gave it. My original vision was seeing this group of females as being all authors. I wanted that. I told it, hey, let's go ahead and see how that compares to your original version. And I also told it to give me the pros and cons, because that would have been my follow-up anyways. I just put it in here. Give me the pros and cons of them being all writers versus having the various occupations. And it did just that. It made adjustments here, but each one is a writer. Just showing you a couple. We can scroll down through the rest. Right? And then here is our pros and cons for the all writers version. And then where they each have different occupations. And then I told it, and again, you'll have all of these in that sheet that I'm going to link in the description. I told it to fix all of the cons in each version. That way I'm going in there with kind of a clean slate. If I know I come across any issues, I already have a solution in place. And it did just that. It fixed all the cons in the writer's version and in the mixed occupations. And in each one of these, every output that it gave me, I was able to use something and strengthen my already blossoming story idea in my head. And even though I started telling it, with the original prompt that I want a contemporary romance series, it felt like it was going to be something else. I asked it, what do you see this series classified as when it comes to genres and subgenres? Contemporary fiction, of course, fits. And then for my subgenre options, it gave the original contemporary romance, women's fiction, makes sense since it's following the group of females. And this is the one I actually ended up going with, the romantic dramedy. And it gave us a couple of others. Even if you do know what your genre is going to be, you might want to play with that prompt and just see what it says. And then from here, I just went back and forth with chat with my usual brainstorming ways, deciding exactly what I wanted. From that point, it's all yours. Come up with your prompts, whatever you need to start fleshing that story out. Let's look at the plot-based one. Right here, we're just going to give it a premise idea, plot point, whatever you want. And I told it to, or reinforced, that, hey, we're really just focusing on the plot points and subplots. And then I did the little reminder just for y'all to see. I don't like to be very specific right when I'm starting out because I want to get those ideas from the AI and see if they're better or if they help my other ideas. And then any of the follow-up prompts that were in that character-based one, feel free to use them to flesh out this some more. I'll go ahead and talk about these genre-specific prompts. That way we can just look at the conversation in full without bouncing back. After I gave it or worked out that original story premise, I wanted to see how it worked in other genres. There was a couple of mishaps with the output, but I finally got it to give me a great output that I enjoyed. These are the prompts that it took to get there. You'll see I actually used the thriller one in this conversation. Just telling it to tailor to another genre didn't work as well. But I did give y'all that generalized prompt right here if you prefer to play with that. Those of you who play with ChatGPT a lot, you can just take one of these prompts into ChatGPT and tell it to change it up, rewrite it to fit such and such genre. Or maybe you want historical fiction, but you want the World War II focus. Put that in there and Chat can rework the prompt for you. Let's see what the plot-based one. Scroll to the top. I told it we're going to brainstorm my series ideas based around this premise, and I gave it an old pseudo-write class prompt. The story, haven't latched onto it yet, but it's still in the back of my mind. Still has potential. And then the rest of the prompt that you'll have. And here's what it gave us. Usual story premise, or what I gave it. Every 1,000 years, there's the dragon eclipse, and they gift a mortal with their powers. However, this year, 2 mortals are chosen. Now, when I did this in pseudo-write for that session, it actually had either one or both of the girls falling in love with the dragons that they were dealing with. For sure, one of them was with a dragon. The other may have ended up in an HEA with somebody else. However, this time Chat decided The dragons are not the good guys. I kind of like this little twist too. And you'll see here what it gave us. We're in book one, our main plot point, where things happen, how it ties into the series, and then the subplots for that book. And then it continued doing the same for each one. Book two, three, main plot, how it ties in, subplots, and four. And the final book right here, same thing. The main plot of it, how it ties into the series, and the subplots. This is where things went awry for a little bit. Told it I wanted to change it up. I wanted a dark fantasy romance version and one for thriller. Dark fantasy romance, that was fine, just went a little crazy on me. Still fit the need, since I already had fantasy elements already. That worked pretty fine. But the thriller, it kept those fantastical elements. I'm just going to scroll down. You can kind of see. Thriller version, we still have dragons. We still have fantastical elements. I didn't want that. You might? That's great. I didn't want it. This is the point where I went back and forth with it a little bit to get the prompt for y'all. And we'll scroll down to find that. This one did not work either. But for other scrolling, and now we have the thriller prompt that I know works. And that's what y'all have in a different version for other genres. Asking it to do my thriller with the appropriate elements. We no longer have all of that stuff. No dragons, eclipse, the magical mumbo jumbo. And I actually really like what it came up with right here. I think I might like this one better than the original premise. Now, they're part of a secretive organization, the Phoenix Consortium. We selected two. One's a hacker. Now this right here, I would change because I don't think I want that at all. But did keep that little occupation, which was kind of weird. And then again, book one's main plots. They're abducted and inducted, given a list of targets to eliminate, or else they'll be eliminated. Tones and themes in there. And I like this ongoing thing right here. I think I would use that if I were to actually do this series. This would definitely be one of those things. Teaming up maybe around book three finally. And then the subplots. You got her royal connections here. Again, I think I would actually do away with that. I would just come back and prompt chat. Hey, I don't want Seraphine to be any sort of royal. Let's work out that occupation and then move forward from there with, of course, changing those names. And then I do like this as well because if I decide to throw in my romantic elements, I think this would be a great enemies to lovers, possibly. And the same thing for all the others. All right, let's scroll down. This one gave us 4 total. Story unfolds over 72 hours. I'm a sleeper agent. Her must choose between completing the mission and saving Seraphine. I like this too. That is it for the plot base. Let's try each of these out real time. The character base. I'm actually going to keep that because, like I said, I really liked it. Do 4-0. Take it easy, chat. It's too early in the morning for all that. All right, let's brainstorm a series ideas for a new tour. I don't have any other ideas, actually. The bad thing about me trying to come up with stuff on the spot. For the number of characters, you know what? Let's do Why not? We have Celeste, Laura, art student, but he's always got to be enigmatic. Do love me a sassy character though. Okay, so raised in Paris. Oh, death of her twin brother. I like that. Wouldn't that be a twist if, hey, he's not really dead? Somewhere down the line, he actually comes back. See, already liking it. And this again is why I like to be general. Might give me an idea that I really like. Discovers a centuries old painting. Mm. Right. You would just go through this and make any changes. Well, let's change it up with one of the prompts here. Like this, but let's try an alternative version where if I actually want to do the dark secret, tying them together, or just leave it college students. But give me the pros and cons. Give me an alternate version and pros and cons of them being in a dark academia setting versus modern day college. And I'm not going to do all the follow up prompts. You'll have them there to use. Just wanted to show you how it could work out. Getting a lot of me's lately. I don't know about anybody else. Okay, responsible one in the group. She orchestrated the cover up, even though she's the golden child from her town. Okay. Drove the car the night of the accident. Loyal but morally flexible. Love those guys. All right. These are pretty good. I'm liking them. So with the hit and run, I don't know. I'm not sure if it's overdone or just a good trope because I do like them myself. But you'll see how it can come out right here. Pretty good. Oh, and detailed. Okay, sketch the scene. Might want to burn that. Me, did he give us 8? Yep, 8. Okay. Now we have the pros and cons. And then I can go back with that follow-up prompt of, hey, fix all the cons in both versions. Pros for the college day. Then the cons. All right, so let's do a plot-based one. Saw this actually popped up in a little trait field the other day in class. I'm actually going to include it because it sparked a little idea. The premise will be Now, I could go on with the rest of it. They're back on the rise, but I actually want to just give it this because I'm thinking it could go two ways. And again, this is the part where I like to be general. It might give me how that happened. It might go ahead and make them come back on the rise. It might do both. Let's see. Like it could be very simple prompts. All you know is, hey, somebody's trying to assassinate the president or the vice president and becomes president somehow. You might want to say, hey, this is a dystopian where such and such has happened or will happen. Doesn't take much. We have the One Smiley Biker Club. That's a little on the nose, chat. Okay, now it's who orchestrated and why. This would actually make a good first book. Maybe kicking this off with people getting together, finding out who orchestrated it, why, and then in that time the group starts forming back together. I know, Nicole, this is more character based than plot. Sorry, that's the way my mind works. We have our main plot here. Okay, not bad. Nice little kickoff right there. We have how it ties to the main plot and the subplots. I'm liking this one. I think I might write this one too. And the names came out pretty good, right? But now you see how this works. Of course, go through. If you want to use the follow-up prompts from the character-based right here in the plot-based one, go for it. I think it'll work great. I will have this document linked in the description of this video, and I hope y'all enjoy. Bye, everyone.